Hey, what's up everybody? How you doing? Welcome back to Karpo Gaming and another Fallout 76 video. The brand new update is here. Update 1.66. These are the patch notes. Once again, thanks for watching everybody. Without further ado, let's get started. Timestamps will be down below. For the update highlights, we have a brand new responder quest. We need to charge up, take flight, head to the pit, and earn brand new stamps, claim rewards, and visit the Steel City in Season 10. Now for the update versions, well, it's going to be rather different for everybody. Now for PC, you got 23 gigs at PC, Microsoft, you got 73, PlayStation 77, and Xbox had 80. But for me on the PlayStation 5, it topped out right around 69 gigabytes. Now let's get started with the introducing of the expeditions in the pit. Today, they're introducing the expedition system, which will take you and up to 3 other teammates beyond the reaches of Appalachian for the first time in order to complete challenges and repeatable missions. While anyone can participate in an expedition, we're currently recommending you be level 50 plus for the best experience. The responders are back. With more and more people returning to Appalachian, some have discovered the responders of days past and decided to take up their mantle and missions to provide aid to anyone in need. This new generation of responders has set up base of operations inside the White Springs Resort and named it the White Springs Refuge. Recently, the responders have managed to find and restore a vertebrae. With your help, they are hoping to use it to expand the efforts to different settlements across the wasteland. Visit the White Springs Refuge to start the Responders Reborn quest, which will introduce you to many of the noble souls who make up the new responders. Along the way, you will learn about the responders' goals, earn their trust, and gain access to lead expeditions using their vertebrae. Next up, charge it up and take flight. To kick off an expedition, you will need to make the vertebrae flight ready by charging its ultracite battery cell, Ultracell. Unfortunately, Ultracell charge is short supply and the responders keep their tightly rations. After completing the Responders Reborn quest, you can visit the White Springs Refuge every day to automatically start 3 different Refuge daily quests. In exchange for your help, the responders will grant you 25% Ultracell charge for completing certain Refuge daily quests and 50% charge for others. Complete all 3 of your quests for the day, you will earn enough to charge the vertebrae battery up to 100%, which will enable you to lead on an expedition. You can hold up to a maximum 100% cell Ultracell charge at any given time, and all of it will be consumed when you start an expedition. Visit the collection tab in the Pip-Boy to view how much Ultracell charge you have at any given time. Please note, you can currently complete Refuge dailies and lead an expedition only once per day. However, you can join expeditions led by others as often as you would like. We've added an expedition team to the public teams list, which provides bonus XP for completing expeditions and will help you find teammates more easily. Next up, embark on missions to the pit. A recent arrival to the Wastelands Refuge alerted the responders to the dire situation in the city known as the Pit. They're members of the Union and are under siege by a vicious band of fanatic raiders who are working to expand their territory by any means necessary. One first of the 2 missions, Union Dues and From Ashes to Fire, will take you deep inside the heart of the conflict and the pit. To bolster the Union's efforts, save their people from the Raiders' cruelty, and sabotage the Fanatics' plans at every turn. Union Dues. Fanatics Raiders have overtaken the Foundry, a steel mill that the Union had been using as a stronghold and home base. As you touch down in the pit, you will rendezvous with Hex, a leader of one of the Union local chapters. Now, Hex is a pretty cool dude. He will share details with you about how to sabotage the Fanatics' operations so the Union can take steps towards reclaiming the Foundry. From Ashes to Fire. Get in contact with Danilo. He will send you on a rescue mission to Sanctum. 3 ruthless factions have imprisoned and enslaved many members of the Union. Prepare an escape path for captive Union members. Free as many of them as you can and raise mayhem in Sanctum to hit the Fanatics where it hurts. Once you fully charge up that vertebrae battery, open up the map, select the expedition icon, move left or right to choose which mission you like to select. After you've played through the mission, you receive 3 randomized objectives which will help you keep your experience and feeling fresh and new. In addition, you will receive randomized optional objectives that you can complete along the way. The more different objectives you complete, with your teammates, the better your rewards will be at the end of the mission. Don't worry if you need to step away from the game in the middle of it, because the objectives are checkpoint. Even if you close the game, you can pick up where you left off the next time you log in. That's pretty cool. So next up, the review of rewards. Every time you finish a mission, you earn up to 5 legendary items based on how many primary and additional objectives you and your teammate complete. You will also receive 1 legendary module with the chance to earn a second, some legendary script, treasury notes, loot, and XP. Once per week, you will earn a randomized item from the pool of rare expedition themed rewards by completing all optional objectives during the mission. Please note, due to an issue discovery just before patch date, the weekly rare reward will not be available initially following today's maintenance. We plan to fix this issue as soon as possible. We currently expect a hotfix on Thursday, September the 15th, so the players can still earn their rewards for that weekly lovely loot. All other missions, rewards like currencies, legendary items, and modules can still be earned today as normal. Rare rewards can include mods from a.k.a. and Union Power Armor, new outfits, Pitt themed furnishings for your camp, and more. You will now earn some extra expedition rare pools. Once you've learned the plan for one of these rewards, it can no longer drop as your weekly reward for completing a mission. The new rare expedition reward timer will reset for all players at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every Tuesday. With the arrival of expeditions, we're also introducing a new in-game currency called stamps. All expedition participants will earn stamps every day when they complete a mission and complete optional objectives, which will increase the number of stamps they receive. The expedition leader will earn a few extra stamps due to the effort required to complete Refuge Daily Quests and charge up the vertebrate battery. Bring your stamps to C.A.M.P.S, a new vendor inside the White Springs Refuge, to exchange them for specific rare expedition rewards that you like to add to your collection. So a little bit something new is always good indeed. Next up, we have take a road trip to the City of Steel during Season 10. New scoreboard, the City of Steel. Ride shotgun along the Red Rocket and prepare for the brand new City of Steel. A host of new rewards as you progress during the season journey. You'll unlock new paints for your armor, also weapon, power armor, pit theme, amenities for your camp outfits, cosmetic, consumable in-game currencies, and more, and add to your stamp collection. Silver ranks throughout the scoreboard will also be featured. You can also rank up these in exchange for rare items and plans. Next up, unlock new gear as you rank up. For the first time ever, you will unlock the ability to craft brand new items like weapons and power armor as you rank up on the City of Steel scoreboard. Here are the new items that are up for grabs this season. Auto Axe. In the right hands, the Industrious Auto Axe is a workhorse that can chew through any obstacle in your path. With a little known how to and elbow grease, you can modify it to dish out poison, electrical, fire damage. Union Power Armor, perfect for your forays in the pit. You receive 150 poison resistant and plus 75 carry weight bonus whenever you're wearing full set of Union Power Armor. And during Season 10, the Auto Axe and Union Power Armor can only be earned by ranking up on the scoreboard. Once Season 10 concludes, we plan to add them to C.A.M.P.'s inventory. That way, players who miss them this season will still be able to unlock them in the future using stamps. Now, to learn more about this in Season 10, I will be leaving that link down below. Right here, you head down to the seasons page on Fallout.com. Next up, ladies and gentlemen, we have additional design changes and improvements. Appalachian fast travel for certain points of interest like the White Springs Resort. Rusty Pit Crater Foundation for Atlas players can now decide whether to fast travel directly inside that location or to its exterior. Additionally, a new White Springs North Entrance fast travel point has been added to the White Springs Resort. Players can discover it on foot and then use it to travel directly inside the White Springs Mall. Purveyor Murmur players can now purchase up to 100 legendary modules and up to 500 steel at once from the Purveyor Murmur. The White Springs Resort, a legendary exchange machine and gold press machines are now available inside of the Artisan corner of the White Springs Mall. And next up, we have items for the automatic melee weapons. Legendary versions of the auto melee weapon like the chainsaw, rubber drill, etc. can now be crafted at the weapons workbench, and they can drop as a legendary loot for event, quests, and legendary enemies. Next up, we have starting gear. With today's update, we've included some adjustments to the starting experience for dwellers who are taking their first steps out of Vault 76. The following changes should help players feel more prepared as they begin their journey in Appalachia. New dwellers will now receive the following items as they exit Vault 76: 10mm pistol with some ammo, combat knife, light leather torso armor, small backpack, which is pretty cool, and a variety of consumables. In addition, they'll now receive a Vault Fed buff, which will prevent hunger and thirst from increase for a whole whopping 2 hours. And finally, the resisting damage for many creatures in level 1 through 15 range have been reduced, which should help smooth out early combat for brand new players. Next up, we have bug fixes. Under Art, Bed fixed the issue on console that could prevent the alien stasis chamber swirling blue visual effects from appearing while it was being used. Power armor, the player arms no longer clip when entering or exiting a set of power armor. Range weapon, the Dastardly Duo Pin can now be applied to the unique and legendary double barrel shotgun Salt of the Earth. Next up, we have camps and workshops. Under Allies, camps objects can no longer be placed on tops of Zero spaceships. Chairs, players can now sit in modular sofas. Doors, the chain link door can now play the correct sound and visual effects when destroyed. An exploit, address the exploit that could allow players to have 2 active camps at once. Floors, corrected a pathing issue affecting the upper floor variant of the destroyed tile floor. Also, floor decor, different types of radiation dummies can now share the same role in the build menu's floor decor category, and players can move left or right to select between them. Also, under floor decor, the crafting requirements for the floating flakes of Flagion are now consistent in both the camp build menus and the Tinker's workbench. Miscellaneous structures, when the fire watch tower is connected to the power, lights placed on the tower's upper beam will now receive power correctly. And also, allies and collections can now correctly walk on the roof of the destroyed trailer. Players can now shoot and throw grenades through gaps in the walls of destroyed trailers when it is in the destroyed state. Vendors, Tipsy Tom vending machine variants now animate correctly after being repaired. Wallpaper, wall decor items no longer sink into the walls that have the Order of Mystery wall paint apply. Flat wall decor like posters, paintings, pennants, scoreboards, and etc. no longer sink into the walls that have wallpaper apply. The Stripe Haunted House and Order of the Mystery wallpaper are oriented correctly when applied to the triangle walls and workbenches. Fix the issue in the Tinker workbench in the player's camp that can sometimes make it become unusable and unmovable. Next up, we have challenges. Daily crafting a scrapping alien blaster in Vats Unknown. Now correctly progress the craft on a scrap range weapon daily challenge using a repair kit to repair an item that is inside the player's stash. Now correctly progresses the repair armor weapon and power armor daily challenge. And weekly crafting a scrapping head, wear, and under armor now correctly progresses the craft or scrap clothing armor or workbench weekly challenges. Fix the issue that caused treasure hunter mole miners and prime mole rats to progress the kill a glowing creature weekly challenge. Under combat, melee enemies continuously circling around certain enemies like cave crickets, wolf, and Mr. Handybots no longer prevents them from attacking the player. And under enemies, blood bugs, undead blood bugs now have a chance to drop blood bug meat as loot, and dogs, dog type enemies like mongrels and wolves can now run after attacking the player instead of always walking. Indeed, a different change. Under events and quests, a colossal problem. Fix the issue that can temporarily block player movement through the tunnel when attempting to escape Monahan Mine. Ally Parental False. Fix the issue in which player were directed to collect an incorrect item during the quest. An organic solution. The quest marker for Ella Ames' body is now correctly removed after looting Ella's research. And also preservation. The optional objective to enter Charleston Train Yard main gate can now be completed again after logging out and back in. AWOL armaments. Interacting with Sergeant Gutsy while it is already speaking no longer interrupts its dialogue or causes it to reply. Bots on Paradise. All enemies during the event are now hostile to the player by default and can be targeted in vats. Distinguished guest. Fix the issue that sometimes causes the waiter bots to leave the function room after players send them back into work. Hearts of the Swamp objective now appear correctly in the quest tracker, and the crafting monster spawns as the boss. Irrational Fear. Enemies that spawn during the event can now target and deal damage to beacons, and Line in Sand. Quest targets no longer appear on Scorched Beast that spawns during the event. And a low bearing event fanfare now correctly appears if the players do not open the mine before the timer expires. Minor miracles. The Power Armor registration console is now only usable when players have now reached the appropriate stage of the quest. Also, a Reuben save key is now correctly removed from the player's inventory after using it, unlocked during Mr. Gill's save inside of the Shelter's Claim Center. Also, Missing Person, Scrap Vandel's dialogue near the end of the quest now correctly matches the player's current quest progress. One Violent Night, event failures fanfare now correctly appears when players do not complete the objective before the timer expires. The optional objective to defeat the Night Stalker barehanded can now be completed when unarmed, as well as unarmed and power armor. And also, Path of the Enlightenment. The Wise Mothman now correctly appears in front of Landview Lighthouse after completing the event. Pet Thief Noodles can no longer spawn as dizzy as are glowing and will not turn hostile when attacked by the player. Radiation Rumble. Marion Copeland will now ignore combat until the player initiates the event and enemies start to spawn in. And also, Marion Copeland now uses a consistent weapon during the event instead of sometimes swapping to unarmed combat. Supply and demands. Paladin Romani will no longer bring up a trade deal if the player didn't secure one during the quest. Supplying demands. The objective to negotiate a deal with the Foundation no longer completes before the player has confirmed the deal with Gloria, Thrill of the Grill. Carrots, which are needed for the quest optional objective, can now spawn at Grenier Farms, Smith Farm, and Becker Farm in the Toxic Valley. Test your metal. Address the issue in which Grand bots can clip through the western wall of the Rust Eagle Arena and leave the event area. Also, the Golden Eye bot no longer occasionally becomes stuck when trying to enter and exit the Rust Eagle Arena. Treasures Unknown, the Fletcher Farm interview. Holotaper no longer retains its quest item status after completing the event. And Wayward Souls fix the issue where the Duchess would look straight ahead instead of at the player after handing them the drink. And under items, allies plans for Captain Swan and Zero are now visible in Samuel's inventory and can now be purchased under Gold Bullion by the players who haven't yet learned them. Also, ammo reduced the weight and crafting requirements for alien blaster rounds so that they're now match fusing cells. Armor, atomic cores, free states, and red viper paints can now be applied to the urban scout armor. Lunchboxes, they now affect and they trigger correctly for nearby players even if they aren't within line of sight of the lunchbox owner. Mods, the extra limb damage mod effect now correctly adds 25% extra damage to limbs and extra chance to cripple, which mod effects now correctly add 20% chance to instantly cripple. Pro Snap Deluxe. The Pro Snap Deluxe camera now registers targets consistently when zoomed in and while the player is moving. The weapon, the dual bar mod for the chainsaw now correctly increases the weapon's damage. Please note, we are aware of relative visual issues with this damage, and the menu may not reflect bonus damage for the dual bar and chainsaw mods. Weapon fix the issue that caused changing weapons to deal less damage than intended, and they are not fully charged. Also, the Gauss shotgun now counts as energy weapon in addition to its other weapon types, and it correctly benefits from perk mods and other buffs that affects energy weapons. Short and long barrel mods for the flamer no longer conflicts with range reductions applied by nozzle mods. Receiver mods that increase the lever action rifle fire rate now function as intended. The hunting rifle refined 50 cal receiver mod now correctly applies more bonus damage to the weapon than the normal 50 cal receiver mod. 10mm SMGs with the tweak automatic receiver and gamma guns with the signal repeater mods are now correctly affected by the gorilla perk mod. The gyro compensating laser mod for the laser gun now correctly provides superior hip fire accuracy, and the mods unlocked portion of the crafting menu now correctly displays a total of 65 available mods for the pipe gun instead of 66, and the Gatling laser, Gatling plasma, and the ultra sight Gatling laser can no longer spawn with the quad legendary attribute. Under perk cards, electric absorption. The description of the electric absorption legendary perk card now correctly communicates that it heals the player in addition to its other effects. Glow Sights. The Glowing Sights perk card now correctly applies bonus damage to glowing Wendigo spawns during a Colossal Problem public event. Under user interface, character levels. Character levels that are 4 and 5 digits long now displays correctly on the map, as well as the social team and player menus. Crafting on PC. The bulk crafting slider now closes correctly after using the crafting menu buttons at the bottom of the screen. Loading screens. Event details now display correctly on loading screens when joining a public event. Main menu, fix the issue that could cause the in-game message of the day and news screen to appear blank for those who play Fallout 76 on console. Map, fix the issue that could cause elements of the UI to flicker after interacting with the map and the social menu. Notifications, the notifications that appear after learning plans for the Brahmin Grill, Milk Vending Machine, Grim Reaper, a Vault Boy cutout, and Tinker Workbench now display the appropriate item names. Pip-Boy opening the keyring in the Pip-Boy miscellaneous inventory tab now correctly selects the first key in the list. Pip-Boy exiting the keyring to return to the Pip-Boy miscellaneous inventory now properly highlights the keyring in the list. And Pip-Boy remove the non-functioning drop button that appeared to highlight in the keyring in the Pip-Boy miscellaneous inventory tab. Scoreboard, fix the issue that could cause the standard 100 rank reward appear incorrectly for players who claim the Fallout first rank 100 reward first. And last but not least, World, Dropside V9 entering the pre-play set power armor and Dropside V9 no longer causes a brief control lock. Under miscellaneous, corrected multiple locations throughout Appalachia where attempting to use pre-placed furniture could result in a brief control lock. And pathing, address several locations throughout Appalachia where the player could become stuck. Now that is indeed a lot of patch notes right there, and I give it to you in a form where you don't have to read it, you can just kick back, relax, and enjoy. Hope you truly enjoyed the video. As always, if you are new to the channel, how you doing and welcome. Don't forget to subscribe right here at Karpo Gaming. Upload a wide variety of videos, range from updates, tips and tricks, guides and news, and a whole lot more. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. Once again, thank you everybody for all your love and support, and as always, I'll be seeing y'all in the next one. Later.